Is this angle a little different? Yes. And that is because my tripod that I bought from the dollar store broke easily. Surprise. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily, and it has been an entire 2 months since I did either a reading or a writing wrap-up, so we got stuff to catch up on. First of all, in June, my parents and I took the dogs camping. Like how I say took the dogs camping like they're our kids. We took the dogs camping. I have some pretty adorable little videos of that. Those will be at the end of the vlog. There's only one writing thing of any significance to bring up over the last 2 months, but it is indeed significant. And that is that I finished the novella that I was working on in the month of May. The novella was called The Sea at the End of Everything. It ended up being about 18,000 words, 15,000 of which I wrote in 3 days, as you can see from the vlog somewhere up here. That was insanity, and somehow it ended up being kind of good, according to my critique partners. That novella was supposed to be my Camp Nano project from March or April, whenever Camp Nano is. I think it's April. What month are we in right now? I only wrote about 3,000 or 4,000 words of it during Camp Nano itself, but I wanted to finish it so my critique group could take a look at it. So I ended up in a mad rush for the finish, writing 15,000 words in 3 days, and it's a thing that exists. I am letting it rest while I work on other projects, and it will get pulled out from my hard drive in a couple months from now and edited. So that is 18,000 words more that I did not have at the beginning of the year. Which moves us right along to the reading side of the wrap-up, because I did no writing in June. Other than editing my short story collection. But at this point, it doesn't even feel like writing, does it? Let me pull out the handy-dandy bullet journal and see what I read. In May, I read one book, and that was The Vine Witch by Luann Smith. This is a book I've had on my TBR since I did the end of the book tag many months ago. I want to say 8 or 9 months ago. Sometime last year, and it's been on my TBR, and I just haven't picked it up because I am bad at making TBR videos and TBR piles and reading things. But I wish I had picked it up earlier, and I'm so happy there's a sequel. This was a 5 out of 5 star read for me. I didn't take notes on this book at all, and it was over 2 months ago that I read it, so I'm working off of memory here. This book follows a witch who had a curse put upon her, and she finally broke the curse at the very beginning of the book, and she has to go back to her home where she runs a vineyard and sort of take back her home from the person who now owns it, and try not to fall in love with that person who now owns it, and also take revenge on the person who had turned her into a toad. This book was not what I expected at all. It was so immersive to read. I was doing school, and I had the book up in one tab on my browser and school in the other tab, and I was flipping back and forth. It was so atmospheric and lyrical and beautiful. The characters felt real. The romance was this slow burn, gooey thing. There was also cool girl witch badassness, and this book did take I don't want to say a 180 turn because it made complete sense of the story, but this book took a turn near the end, and it was creepy, and I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars, would recommend. The first book I read in June is Pistol Daisy by Natalia Lee. This is a short novel / novella that I got an advanced reader copy of in exchange for a review. Thanks, Natalia, you're awesome. Pistol Daisy is a Western gunslinging, very reminiscent of my childhood watching black and white Westerns type of book. It is about a main character named Daisy, who her entire family is murdered by this pack of complete jackasses, let's be honest. And she goes on a quest for revenge, and there's this found family trope we got going on, which makes everything better. Pistol Daisy is the first in a series. I think Natalia is writing the second one right now for Camp Nano. This was a quick, fun read that packs a punch. It was also something I was reading on my phone during several of my Zoom lectures. Don't tell my teachers, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. Okay, my phone just died. Great. I don't know where I got cut off. So 5 out of 5 stars, which makes that my second 5-star read in a row. The next book I read in June was Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which didn't have a lot of great reviews on Goodreads, but I loved it. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling where the main character has been raised from childhood in order to kill her arranged husband, who is like the Lord of Demons, because her father made a crappy deal with the Lord of Demons and then her mother died, so she's being raised as like the person to kill him as revenge. But she gets sent away and married to him, and shenanigans ensue. I was hooked on this book from the very first chapter, which is something that never really happens for me. I read the sample on Amazon and immediately said I need to get the ebook from the library now. I love how flawed the main character is. She's righteously angry and clever and not a pushover, but there is a realistic reason for her falling in love with the Beast character, and yeah. I love me some enemies to lovers tropes. The romance was absolutely great. I loved it. It was fluffy, and I had wished there was more than just kissing, but it was a YA book and not like a Sarah J. Maas YA book, so there was just kissing. The only other note I have on my little bullet journal here that I'm actually going to bring up that isn't spoilers is spoilers out of context. Weirdest love triangle ever. I don't even know if it was a love triangle, because I don't like love triangles, so this was pretty good. I don't know. Go read it. If you've read it, tell me. Was this a love triangle? Because 5 out of 5 stars, which makes for my third 5-star book in a row. And the final thing I read in June was The Bird and the Sword by Amy Harmon. This has been another thing that's been on my TBR forever. This follows Lark, who is our main character. She has this sort of word magic where she can say words and they sort of come true. But in the very beginning of the story, when she's a little child, her mother is killed and sort of curses her to protect her to where she can no longer speak and she can't use her magic whatsoever. Flash forward to when she's 16 years old. This is a YA book. The son of the king that killed her mother ends up taking her to his palace because he is hoping that she is magical like her mother and can heal his problem. This is a little Beauty and the Beast. It's a little Beauty and the Beast, and I like Beauty and the Beast done well, as you can see. The writing in this was excellent. Sometimes I don't want to sound like a jerk. I know I constantly sound like a jerk on this channel, but I was consistently forgetting that this was a YA book because the writing was very good. I'm so sorry. I write YA, I can say that, right? I don't want to say spoilers, but I have some pretty funny notes in my journal here. I just have to read them, so I will sort of mute the spoilers here. 1, I want to write a YA book now. That's a note. 2, if a certain character is actually dead, I'm going to be so pissed. Frowny face. Okay, he's alive. I'm good. That was a great twist. It's great how involved I felt with the characters, and I am ready to read the next one. If that isn't a glowing endorsement of this book, I don't know what is. I don't want to be too hasty, but I think Amy Harmon might be one of my new favorite authors. 5 out of 5 stars, which makes for my 4th 5-star book in a row. Thank you, the universe. Avatar: The Last Airbender is on Netflix. Everyone should understand that reference now. So those are the words I wrote and the books I read in May and June. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to subscribe and ding that little notification bell. It really helps out my channel. My short story collection, All the Wood She Watches Over, is available for pre-order right now. If you pre-order, make sure to enter the giveaway where you can be entered to win a signed hardback, plus some stickers, plus some other cool stuff. Yeah! I upload videos on Mondays or Fridays, sometimes both days, and I am going to be camp nano vlogging all month, so see you guys in the next video. Bye! Rosie.